I ain't scared of shit, and you're gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
we'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you're fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
And the new question for Canelo.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And you
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
it's gonna be me.
I don't care about anybody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, you gonna be a nobody. You gonna be just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch. Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stuff a mud hole in their ass, and he gonna be next. Watch.
The showdown between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford is shaping up to be one of the biggest events in boxing history. However, their recent press conference quickly spiraled into chaos.
I respect everybody, but if you with me, so it's gonna be different.
Terence, is that true? Did Turkey Alashake ask you to spice things up?
Turkey didn't ask me to do nothing. I didn't touch him.
You know.
Listen.
Hey, we know, buddy. We know.
First and foremost, somebody was in the room saying that I was scared of them. So I stepped to him and showed him who was the boss of this.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back when speaking about Canelo Álvarez. He criticized the constant praise Canelo receives and reminded fans that Canelo always handpicked his opponents. Mayweather downplayed Canelo's accomplishments, stating that their fight was completely one-sided. He claimed he dominated Canelo with ease, even though he was nearly 40 years old at the time. Mayweather also called out the boxing community for tearing down other fighters just to elevate Canelo, insisting the match was never close and that Canelo wasn't as tough as people made him out to be.
A guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Crawford's veteran manager, Brian "Bo-Mac" McIntyre, also weighed in on the upcoming bout. He predicted that the early rounds would be competitive but expects Crawford to adapt and make adjustments mid-fight. McIntyre believes that, just like in many of Crawford's past victories, he'll eventually take control and outbox Canelo. While he didn't reveal specific tactics, he expressed strong confidence that Crawford would dominate the later rounds and finish the fight on a high note.
Yeah, man, like I always say, it's going to be a tough few rounds, until Terence makes his adjustments, and then, like he does every fight, he's going to take it over and run away with it.
How does that look like?
Well, I ain't going to put it out there like that, but I just looking for Terence to dominate. I know, going through the home stretch.
The most recent press event for Canelo vs. Crawford turned into a chaotic scene, with both fighters exchanging heated insults and refusing to back down. They squared off nearly 10 times, creating intense tension throughout the event and causing multiple delays. One of the most memorable quotes came when Crawford defiantly stated, "I ain't scared."
Scared of shit, and you're gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
We'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you're fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well. And
the new question for Canelo.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And you
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since
Everybody,
2002.
mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna be me.
I don't care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? You gonna be just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
The
Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass, and he gonna be next. Watch.
Former world champion Antonio Tarver shared his excitement about the anticipated showdown, saying he's been praising Terence Crawford's rare intensity for quite some time. Tarver believes Crawford is a serious threat, an athlete with a unique energy that few can match. He also questioned whether Canelo Álvarez still has the drive to dig deep, especially since his footwork has noticeably declined. Tarver pointed out that Canelo hasn't been truly tested in that area recently and emphasized that this could be a crucial factor in the fight.
Canelo Crawford, here you go. Come on, bro. I've been telling y'all for the longest. That boy got that energy. And you know what energy I'm talking about. What is that? Tarver energy. Yes, sir. Tarver. He got that.
Yes,
and so
sir.
you know, when you get that, we don't see nobody, bro. Now he in there with a dog, Canelo. Now, the Canelo footwork ain't been what it's supposed to be lately. And he hasn't fought a real threat in a long time. Right. Now, sometimes we can get so comfortable in that zone. But now you gotta go down deep to get ready for Crawford. You feel me? He gotta go deep. Now, we don't know. Does Canelo still have that in him? We gonna see. We gonna see. But now coming with it, bro.
Coach Calvin Ford also showed in
Respected trainer Calvin Ford also expressed enthusiasm for the Canelo vs Crawford clash, saying he's genuinely excited for both fighters. He noted that it's been a while since Crawford faced another elite opponent and praised Canelo as one of the sport's top competitors. Ford emphasized how significant this bout is for boxing, calling it a pivotal moment for both fighters. He believes this matchup offers fans something truly meaningful and said both men need each other to create a historic event in the sport.
You know, Crawford getting another serious young African-American fighting him. You know, it's been a while, you know what I'm saying? And this guy, he's alive. Canelo is the GOAT, and it's good for Terence Crawford to see that guy, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for Canelo to see him. You know, it gives something for the boxing world to talk about, and everybody looking forward to it.
When asked how he would train Crawford to take on one of boxing's biggest names, Ford said he wouldn't change a thing. He pointed to Crawford's dominant performance against Errol Spence Jr., a fight many expected to be competitive, yet ended up being one-sided. Ford compared the energy of that bout to the legendary Hagler vs. Hearns clash, though with a more shocking result. He added that if both Canelo and Crawford bring their absolute best, fans might finally witness the kind of iconic battle they've long dreamed of.
Why would I change up what he's been doing? He's been winning. He's been getting the job done. You know, when he shut down Earl, that was perfect. It ain't like he ain't been in no big fight. That was a fight everybody thought they was gonna get a roller coaster, and it went turns.
That was like, Hagler Hearns. You thought you didn't know what was gonna happen.
We didn't get that.
And he dominated.
We didn't get that fight that we thought we was gonna get.
Yeah.
And then seeing Canelo and him do it, everybody said, man, we might get the fight that we gonna.
Max Kellerman also weighed in on the significance of the Canelo vs. Crawford fight, calling it one of the biggest boxing events he's ever witnessed. Kellerman, who has covered legendary matchups involving Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and the thrilling Anthony Joshua vs. Vladimir Klitschko bout, believes this fight could surpass them all. He emphasized that while those events were historic, the timing, stakes, and star power of this matchup make it something truly special.
Rank this fight out of your top 3 to 5 of all the boxing fights you've called, you've experienced, you've watched.
In terms of the magnitude of the
magnitude,
fight? I mean, of the fights that I've called ringside, it might turn out to be number 1. I've done Pacquiao fights, I've done Mayweather fights, I've done Anthony Joshua against Klitschko, those are big fights, but...
Kellerman also pointed to Netflix's involvement as a potential game changer. With the streaming giant now broadcasting the fight, he said this could become the most watched title bout in the last 50 years. He referenced Muhammad Ali's 1978 rematch with Leon Spinks, which drew over 90 million television viewers, a record that still stands. While mega fights like Mayweather vs. Pacquiao pulled in massive pay-per-view numbers, Kellerman believes streaming could push this event even further. If household viewership holds strong, it might break every modern record. Commercially, he believes this will be the biggest bout he's ever covered.
This will, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in '78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 4 million buys, Mayweather Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, that's 20 million people. This is gonna do multiples of that. So when you look at it from like a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley shared his insights on Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Álvarez, recalling a conversation with Larry Merchant. When asked whether Crawford could really win, Merchant gave a confident yes, citing Crawford's elite footwork, sharp timing, and high boxing IQ. He explained that smart movement, avoiding the center line, and staying out of big exchanges would be key to Crawford's success. Merchant stressed that mixing up attacks and staying unpredictable would give Crawford a clear path to victory, even against a physically stronger opponent.
Asked the great Larry Merchant very recently. I said, is there any way in your mind that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez? And Larry said to me, Jim, did Ray Leonard get a decision win over Marvin Hagler? I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could have gotten a decision win over Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then yes, absolutely, Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Álvarez, because it's the same thing. It's the same size difference to a certain degree. It's a very similar style difference, and there's a blueprint there. If Crawford looks at what Leonard did, get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, land to the body, get out. Get in, land upstairs, get out, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, and always the footwork, never standing in the same place. If Crawford has the energy to do that, there's a chance.
Lampley added that while Canelo is known for having one of the toughest chins in boxing, Crawford doesn't need a knockout to win. Instead, he believes Crawford can take the fight on points if he follows a disciplined game plan. That includes controlling distance, managing energy wisely, and staying clean through all 12 rounds. Although it will be a grueling challenge, Lampley is confident that with the right adjustments, Crawford could outthink and outbox Canelo. Meanwhile, boxing writer Dan Raphael weighed in on Canelo's recent lackluster performance against William Skull, suggesting it wasn't just about a tough opponent. He hinted at deeper concerns, mainly the wear and tear from Canelo's long career, which began when he was just a teenager.
Get over how bad he was against Skull. I'm not convinced that it was just a bad style. I think that he's just to the point after, all these years being a professional since he's 15, 16 years old, that takes a toll, man. It's all the sparring, it's all the fights, it's the wear and tear on your body. And I have made this point before. To me, it's not so much about the number of fights, it's how many rounds do you have. Here's the harsh reality. Canelo Álvarez has literally double the number of pro rounds that Terence Crawford does, even though Canelo is younger.
Raphael highlighted that Canelo has logged over 500 professional rounds, more than double what Terence Crawford has endured in his career. That staggering number, according to Raphael, reflects not just experience but also accumulated punishment. Canelo has consistently fought top-tier opposition, from crafty veterans to hard-hitting contenders. But Raphael believes that all the damage sustained over the years could finally catch up to him, especially against someone as technically sharp and physically fresh as Crawford.
100-something rounds as a professional now, Canelo. Crawford hasn't even hit 300 rounds as a professional. That's a big difference.
That's another factor then we can look into this fight. There's so many factors to it, like you say, Dan. Now, you did touch on it before.
It's 520 rounds for Canelo Álvarez as a professional, and it's 245 rounds as a professional for Terence Crawford. Yeah. That's a dramatic difference. Think about the wear and tear you might take in an extra 200 plus rounds. And it's not like Canelo's fighting guys who can't fight. He's fighting top-level, world championship-level fighters, one after the other after the other. If you look at a guy like William Skull or John Ryder or somebody like that and say, that was like his so-called worst opponent over the last several years, that's still pretty solid. Those are still real guys.
Michael Buffer predicted a highly competitive and skillful showdown between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, emphasizing that the fight will be more about technique than raw power. When asked about UFC President Dana White's involvement in promoting the event, Buffer praised White as one of the greatest promoters in all of sports. He noted that White could bring fresh energy to boxing and handle major events efficiently, despite past criticism from figures like Oscar de la Hoya. Buffer made it clear he fully supports Dana White's entry into the boxing world.
Not a big fight unless you're announcing it. Canelo versus Crawford. How do you see that one going?
I think it's going to be a close and interesting fight.
Right.
I think it's going to be a technical fight, not a power fight.
Now, what do you think about Dana White promoting it? Do you think
he's only proven himself to be one of the greatest promoters in the history of sports?
So he's good.
Pretty good deal.
He's good for boxing.
Oh yeah, he'll know what to do.
Because some people like De La Hoya have been a little critical of him, but he has the Michael Buffer approval, obviously. For sure. You're the man. Thank you.
According to analyst John Ted, Terence Crawford often gets caught by straight right hands during exchanges, a punch that seems to be a common weapon against him. Ted explained this vulnerability may come from Crawford being a southpaw who isn't naturally left-handed, which can occasionally leave him exposed. Still, Crawford's toughness, speed, and footwork help him avoid serious damage. Ted pointed out that Crawford sometimes takes punches deliberately, using a tactical style reminiscent of Sugar Ray Leonard. He'll invite shots with a subtle opening, only to slip away and counter with precision. This approach showcases not just his technical mastery, but also his fearless mindset. Crawford thrives under pressure, using intelligence and timing to turn risky moments into winning opportunities.
Some homework on Terence Bud Crawford. I was going to put together video clips of how Terence Bud Crawford loves to trade. So while I was trying to put that together, I noticed that when he is getting hit in the exchange, it's usually by a straight right. So much so that I've noticed that his ops plan to land the straight right. These fighters literally study Crawford and plan on throwing a straight right because he's a southpaw and he's not a natural southpaw. So they actually plan for it. It's just that Terence Crawford is so damn durable and good and athletic that even when they're landing it, he's okay. And a lot of times he kind of make them miss, or he'll give them his face like Sugar Ray Leonard, love him to death, and he'll step back and go bang because his feet are so good. That's why I said he's a fighter. Crawford is more of a fighter than a...
Boxing analyst Jiran Bhutanis is leaning in favor of Canelo Álvarez if the fight takes place. He highlighted that Canelo has already beaten much larger men, even though 168 pounds isn't his natural weight class. Some of Canelo's past opponents have weighed close to 200 pounds on fight night, and yet he still managed them effectively. Bhutanis called the potential matchup with Crawford a thrilling one that fans worldwide are eagerly anticipating. He also suggested that Crawford might benefit from a tune-up bout around 160 pounds. This, according to Bhutanis, would help him adjust to the added size, build more power, and maintain sharpness without too long of a layoff. And that wraps up today's video. What do you think about this mega fight between Canelo and Crawford? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all things boxing. Also, check out more content now playing on your screen, sponsored by ZYN Pakistan Pakistani.
You gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it, so so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, the feeling of somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up in weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp and and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.